to honor our flag and our country, we present our national anthem. Sorry, folks, we are having some technical difficulties at this time. Number 260 for presenting our colors this year.
We got a beautiful sunset there to the west of Rich Strauss Field for tonight's football game. It's harvest season, still football season. Bombers are looking to cap off the season with one more victory before postseason play. Bombers are on the edge of postseason play, of course, we know. We'll keep everybody updated onto that. But for now, we're getting ready for Ballard versus Boone here in Rich Strauss Field, the home of the Ballard Bombers, for the regular season finale.
Yeah, you bet, Brock. You know, Dan got that shot of the sun setting over there in the west. The sun sets in the west. The Bombers rise in the east here on Rich Strauss Field, and pretty cool moment. I don't know if you could probably hear it very well on the stream. We had the national anthem going to play. They had some technical difficulties, so both fan bases started singing the national anthem. The guys on the field presented the colors. Pretty cool thing to have happen, and like we sometimes like to say, they made a little chicken salad out of that, out of chicken something, an expression. But I'll tell you what, pretty neat thing here. Final Friday night, Rich Strauss Field couldn't have asked for a better evening as far as temperature. A little different than last week, Brock.
Just a little bit.
You bet.
Bombers, of course, coming off of a win against Des Moines North. 55-6 was the final score of that one. And they come into this game 4-4 on the year, 2-2 in district play. And they were ranked 17th in the recent RPI rankings, in which we know, like we mentioned in the opening, RPI is pretty much the only way the Bombers are going to get into the postseason at this point. And as of right now, it's probably a little stretch to think that the Bombers are going to make postseason play, but there's still a sliver of hope.
Yeah, it is bleak, as you might say, and the Bombers' game of inches, right? Couple plays here and there we'd like to have back in the season. Some of them benefited us, some of them didn't. And the ones that didn't have really hurt us here, as it's kind of been the Wild West as far as 4A football, especially in our district. You know, we came in here and we beat a good North Polk team who's ranked, I think, 3 or 4 in the RPI. ADM's had some injuries. They went to Indianola last week, got beat. Indianola's probably going to finish second in the district. I think they are going to finish second in the district. And we had them on the ropes, lost a tight one down there. Of course, we lost that one to Humboldt. But, you know, as Rafiki said to Simba, and he hit him upside the head, and he said, "Why'd you do that?" He says, "It does not matter. It's in the past. The only thing we can control is what's right in front of us. We got to take care of business tonight against the Boone Toradors and hopefully get some help from some of our friends in 4A football."
Well said. Toradors on the other end, as the Bombers are coming in 4-4 on the year. The Toradors are 2-5, 0-4 in district play, and ranked 27th in the recent RPI ranking. So, tale of two teams where one is kind of hoping for a sliver of hope of making the postseason play, and then the other side, the Boone Toradors, just trying to get through the final game. At the same time, they still have one more opportunity to get another win. Yeah, and you know, you're going to look for Boone, because Boone knows if they come out and play hard and get us in a dogfight, they can basically ruin our season. It doesn't matter. So we have to win between the lines tonight, play good, solid, fundamental football, let the chips fall where they may. But the one thing we can control is what happens between the lines here tonight at Rich Strauss Field. So the Bombers, and I know the coaching staff, just speaking with them a little bit this week, they know what's at stake. We have to take care of our own thing here in order to give us any chance to get in. Yeah, we're 17 in the RPI and whatever. We don't win this one, it doesn't matter. It's a moot point, right? So we take care of this here this evening, and then, like I said, hopefully get a little help here or there and whatnot. And it's been an exciting week to be a Bomber fan, Brock. We had the girls semifinal, region semifinal last night. The Bombers swept the Dutch Appella in 3 straight sets, and pretty good volleyball last night. I was there able to call it. The girls looked outstanding. We had the 65th, the first ever Bomber team. We did a little roundtable with them on Wednesday night, which was really, really fun, and got to meet some of those guys. We'll give them a shout-out. Nels Nord and Larry Larson, Ray Cruz, Ron Finch, and Monty Lance were all there with us. And just a fun time to listen to those guys talk and how Ballard's evolved and how football's evolved, and some really cool guys that got the opportunity. So it was fun to sit down with them. But now here we are, Friday night in October. You can almost smell it in the air a little bit. Like you said, it's harvest season. We got a little glaze. You can see the corn dust in the background, and you look over here, and it's beautiful. And we're not under tents. It's not raining. Yes. Things are looking up for Bomber Nation, I can tell you that. And we can't forget that the girls cross-country team qualified for their 10th straight state cross-country meet appearance. And, you know, credit to them on being able to consistently win on the course. And, I mean, hey, they're going to be wanting another trophy by the end of cross-country season. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Coach Barth has done such a good job with that program, and they've been a kind of a stalwart. Is it 3A or is it 4A? I can't remember. Or is there 5 classes in girls, Brock? I'm not for sure on that. I think there's 5 classes. I think so. So we would be – so whether it's 3A or 4A, the Bombers girls cross-country team it's I wouldn't say it's a dynasty because we're maybe not winning, but as far as making the state cross-country meet as a team, that's a pretty big accomplishment. You hit that. And the volleyball team plays Tuesday night over in Marion. So we got something in the works. We do. We got something cooking. So stay tuned for that if you follow the Ballard Network, and we may have some really fun and exciting news on that, but we don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. But, again, we got to take care of the Toradors tonight as we get ready for looks like the captains to come out in a little coin toss here. So, Brock, you got some interesting stats for our guys here. If you want to go through those now, because these are some really good things here happening for the Bomber football team. Yeah, and I mean, when you're looking at the Bomber offense, for sure, one person comes to mind right away, and that's Eli Rouse, and he is second in Class 4A for all-purpose yards this season. And, I mean, credit to him on being able to produce both on the ground, running the ball, as well as receiving the ball as well. Receiving the ball, yep, you betcha. And he's thrown a couple passes, haven't quite been there, but Eli's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. And we saw him last week. I think he had 4 touchdowns, maybe 5 against North, and he's cracked off some big runs. But the story for us has been our defense all year. Yes. Our defense has been really good. We've given up some big plays, but there's some guys on the defensive side that have some out-of-this-world stats, and you can mention those, Brock, because it's really quite phenomenal, folks. I mean, Jackson Waka, you'll hear his name a bunch tonight, and as the players are making their way out on the field for the coin toss, I think that's all the seniors on the Ballard roster, which is a cool thing that the Bombers do here for the final home game of the regular season. Quite a good gesture there from the head coaches, Coach Howard and Coach V. Get all those guys to feel part of something. And, I mean, going back to Jackson Waka, I mentioned that he's been everywhere on the defensive end. He's first in 4A for total tackles. And while that means that the defense is kind of on the field a little bit longer than probably they would want to be, but the 90 tackles for one guy, that's impressive. That absolutely is impressive. And, I mean, going off of that, he's also first in 4A. 5th in the state for solo tackles as well, with 70 on the year. And then you look at other players, there's 4 players on the Bomber defense, all linebackers that rank in the top 15 in 4A for tackles.
Yeah, and Brody Sampson is, I think he leads 4A in
Sacks.
4A in sacks, yeah, and he's tied for third in all the states. So that's kind of Waka's counterpart on the other side, and we've seen those guys. They play that outside linebacker, walk-up backer, and, man, they are a force to be reckoned with when they pin their ears back and give themselves a chance.
And when you look at this Torador team that the Bombers are going up against, they're going to run the ball a lot. If you look here, well, I mean, people on the stream can't see, but you can see.
Absolutely.
We got 286 total passing yards this year for the Toradors.
Yeah,
that's ranked 316th in the state. So they're going to run the ball, though. They do have over 1,400 yards rushing this season, so that while their passing may not be showing up on the stat sheet, 1,400 yards on the ground is no easy job.
Absolutely, and we kind of saw it last week with Des Moines North. They wanted to run the ball, and they had some pretty good success. And Boone watched that film as Boone just clipped, I think, Des Moines North the week before to get that win over those guys. So pretty good. Executive producer Dan Inksler bringing the flashlight up here. This guy, folks, Dan Inksler, and we give him a lot of credit, but it's all well-deserved. He's got all the tools and the devices and lets us see what we're doing. And another shout-out to our spotters up here tonight. One of the normals, Greg Poyer, couldn't be here tonight. He's on kid duty. But Rob Mudd's up here, Brandon Brown, Jeremy Hillebrand, and Steve Domino. Those two guys will be on the keeping us updated on scores. So should be able to give you something.
So the Bombers will receive here. Interesting thing to keep in mind is that the Bombers are actually in first in 4A for average kick return on the season with 25 yards of return. And they have 2 touchdowns on the year as well off the kickoffs. Chance Landy and Eli Rouse look to be in the backfield for this kick return.
Yeah, we've had Jude Gibson. He hasn't played the last 3 weeks. Had a little hamstring issue. I think he is suited up tonight. We don't know how much we'll see Jude, but he is in uniform, I believe. So, and he gives us another weapon, especially on kickoff returns, because he looks like he's shot out of a cannon sometimes when he catches that football. But we'll see if the Bombers can do something with it right here on the opening kick.
And the ball is away on the last regular season game of the season. Landy will pick it up around the 15-yard line. He'll run over to the right side. He's got a couple blockers, gets to the 35, to the 40 before going out of bounds. That is a great opening kick return for the Ballard Bombers right there.
Yep, good field position to start for the Bombers. That's what we want. Again, kind of a little squib kick there from Boone, trying to take it out of our playmakers' hands because Landy and Rouse, both all-state track guys on relay teams, can both run. So be interesting to see what we got here from the Bombers. The guys up front had a nice week last week running the football, and we're talking about the big hogs up front, the offensive linemen. See if we can't build off of that from a week ago.
On the first play of offense, they hand it off to Rouse. He runs to the left side, able to break a couple tackles and get up for a good gain of 6 yards to start off the game.
Looks like that was Maldonado in there, and maybe Freeze were in there for the Toradors.
Brings up second down. Gatchell, the quarterback for the Bombers, had a rough start to the year, turning the ball over a little bit, but I will say if anybody has improved the most on this Bomber team, it would have to be Gatchell.
Yeah, and it's his decision-making that's improved a lot. He's a good athlete. He has been all year, but his decision-making is better. There's Rouse again.
Able to pick up the first down, another 6-yard gain for Rouse.
Pretty good runs there for Eli. That was Ingram on the tackle for the Toradors, number 5, the senior. But a little short of his season average at 6 yards a carry right now, but we're going to take it. Anytime you get 6 on first down and 6 on second down, puts your offense in a good spot. And that's the thing, too, with Mason. You put him in good spots to be successful like that. As the Bombers come out here with 4 wide, no tight ends, just Mason and Rouse in the backfield.
Gatchell will fire it to Landy. Landy trying to make a move, but gains nothing after catching the ball for a 3-yard gain.
That's Ingram again, Christian Ingram. That's his second tackle in a row there for the Toradors. Boone's pretty young. They got some underclassmen, quite a few underclassmen on their roster. A little bit of struggles this year, but look for them to, turn it around next year. And, they're going to play hard. That's the one thing as a coaching staff over there with Coach Klein. They get those guys to play hard night in, night out. And hard thing to do when you're not having success.
Second down, they hand it to Rouse up the middle. He makes a good cut, prevents a loss of yardage, and actually picks up 6 yards. Eli Rouse again, and the tackle by Justice Freeze.
Yeah, that was a nice jump cut there, and we absolutely whiffed on the point of attack there on the front line. And And those are things that, and it's a scheme thing, you know. Boone's playing they're playing 3 down linemen, a little 3-4 action. We just got to communicate it up front. Our guys on the offensive line got to understand where our combos are and where we're going to get to the next level. But Eli Rouse makes up for a lot of mistakes up front.
3rd down and short. We'll see if they give it to him again. Instead, they hand it off to Hedrick. He's got a couple of blockers, able to get to the 30-yard line just inside. Good enough for a 1st down for the Ballard Bombers. Maldonado on the tackle. We have a Torador down, so we'll have a break here real quick. But another great run for the Ballard offense, able to pick up the 1st down on 3rd and short.
Yeah, brought a little counter tray out there on that little inside handoff. Went with a 2-back set. Hedrick just kind of snuck around there, and Rouse with just a half a step behind him. And I think if Hedrick lets him get in front of him, he might be at the house right now. But Rhett was out the gate, got the 1st down, and we'll take it. Good offensive drive here so far to start for the Bombers.
We have a break in the action due to an injury timeout. Last home game of the season for the Bombers, regular season finale. Looking to finish the year above 500 as they walk in 4-4 on the year.
Yeah, you know, Brock, and it's interesting because our early season schedule, and there's some teams and you can kind of dictate your schedule and who you play, but the Bombers didn't have really any cupcakes. Considering that Humboldt, we lost to them, I think it was 14-13 here. They went up in Clear Lake and beat the dog tar out of them last week, 35-0. And we played a Creston team that's in 3A.
That team is impressive.
And they are very impressive. So a couple of 3A schools, but very good football programs and good teams this year.
1st down, they'll hand it off to Rouse on the sweep. He breaks a couple tackles, able to take it inside the 5. And just like that, Rouse takes it to the house. 29-yard run for the opening touchdown for the Bombers.
Yeah, that was Eli Rouse just finding the crease and then turning the burners on. And when Eli gets his knees up, and you saw it there at the end of that last 10 yards, he accelerates, and that's kind of straight line speed and track speed, and that's why he's successful on the oval. But that was a really, really well-designed play and well blocked by the Bombers.
Hoffman on the PAT attempt. It looks to be good. It is, and 7-0 is your score with 9:19 left in the 1st quarter. Bombers lead it.
Snap was a little high there, but it looked like Hillebrand did a nice job from Cleverly again to get that snap down. We saw that last week a couple times, and the senior Ryan Cleverly, the long snapper, does it for the PATs and the punts. And he's been really good, but he's just a little high and right now on those snaps. And something we got to get rectified. We've got this game and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more. You never know. But Ryan, super sharp kid. I think he's headed up to Iowa State. And long snapping is a thankless job, Brock. I can tell you that from experience because that's your job. And if just one little thing goes wrong, everybody notices. It's kind of like being a kicker or a punter.
You were a long snapper, right?
I was a long snapper in high school. Yeah, I played 9-man football, but had to do it all. I couldn't put it in the old mailbox, but we tried.
The Bombers start off the game with an opening drive touchdown from Eli Rouse. I think that may have been one of the few times we've seen Rouse start out in the position not behind Gatchel.
Yeah, he was in that Y position and brought that jet sweep in, kind of that where we see Jude Gibson a lot. There's Hoffman with a decent little kick down there at the 10. The freshman Sammy Hoffman's been a nice addition for the Bombers. Good coverage there.
Return by Brecky. Gets to the 22-yard line, so the Toradors will take over and have their first offensive possession.
Walker and Vitsum in on that tackle. Tucker Vitsum, a couple of juniors. Well, looks like we're getting some updates live. We had an early update, and I believe it was Norwalk was leading Glenwood 7-0. Now it's going to be 7-7. We're getting confirmation from Mr. Domino, Mr. Hillebrand up here. And we need Glenwood to win that game. Looks like a halfback pass, maybe. Not there.
Great pursuit from the Bomber defense right there. That's Nelson and Sampson.
Yeah, it looks like Nelson and Sampson, not Samsonite. But I'll tell you what, he locked him up like the Samsonites do. If you got some luggage, if you're familiar with Dumb and Dumber, you know what I'm talking about. But Jack Nelson, great pursuit. Nice job on the back end, sniffing out that halfback pass. First play of the game, and if you're Boone, why not? What do you got to lose? Yep, absolutely. Playing with house money.
Brings up 2nd down and 12 on the 21-yard line.
Boone's pretty big up front. Like I said, they're kind of young, so some big guys, little give there.
Hand it off this time, and there's Hedrick right away, able to prevent a big gain, 2 yards total. It brings up 3rd down and 10. That was Christian Ingram, number 5. We'll hear his name a lot on both ends as he plays both defense and offense for the Toreadors. Heard his name a couple times on that first drive on the defensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the seniors. If you look at that front line for Boone, a lot of underclassmen up there right now. And they got a senior in Lucas Thompson. Outside of that, you're looking at some sophomores and maybe another senior. So pretty young up front for Boone. And not an easy task against this front from the Bombers, that's for sure.
3rd down and 10. Play action pass. Baumgartner looks to throw, and it will fall incomplete. Intended receiver was number 1, Josh Ingram. It brings up 4th down.
Well, again, we kind of talked about it last week. Couldn't have drawn up a better start if you're a Bomber fan. We go down, score on the first drive, 3 and out. Should have pretty good field position here again. Not sure. Looks like the Toreadors are set up to maybe go for it here. But they're going to go back into a little quick punt formation.
So they will punt it. Very rough punt. Great coverage from the Bomber rush on that. And it will be stopped around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, about a net punt of about maybe 20 yards. And everybody's saying, well, wait a minute, you roughed the punter. It was the quarterback, so there is no roughing the punter there because they haven't really established. He stepped 2 yards back out of that shotgun. We hit him, and we almost blocked the punt, but I think our guys were confused. Do we block it or do we tackle him? Because it's just different when you're in that punt safe, punt return. But anyway, Bombers again with great field position here. Going right to left on your radio dial, so it'd be south to the north end zone here. Bombers come out 4 wide, empty set with 1 running back.
Gatchel's looking to throw on 1st down. Fires a deep pass to Luster. He's got a man. It's caught.
That's Luster.
Luster with the catch at the 10-yard line is where he gets stopped. Gain of 40.
It was Jackson Vale, but to no avail on that one because Luster was wide open down the seam. That's a favorite route for Mason to see and to throw. We've seen it a couple times this year. It's a little bit of that zone buster. Take those guys, almost run 4 verticals. So you got guys running outside the hash and right down the hash, and it puts those secondary guys in a compromise. Luster wide open, bobbled it, caught it. Nice play there by Jacob Luster.
Now it brings up 1st down. Pitch play to Rouse. He runs to the right side. Able to get to the 3-yard line before being tackled. Gain of 7.
Gain of 7 on the play. Bombers came out with a 2 tight end set, the heavy set. We don't see that a lot out of them, but that pitch was a little low, kind of at Rouse's kneecaps. But Eli, as we know, Eli's a multi-sport athlete. Trackster, plays baseball, plays basketball. Heck of a good baseball player, but he's got good hands. And he showed him there on that catch on the pitch.
A little sneak from Gatchel. He will be close to the goal line, but he will be a yard short. Gain of 2.
There's that tush push, the brotherly shove that we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles make so popular. Controversial, to say the least. But
it works.
Got the big horses in there behind him. Mason says, all right, fellas, give me a little nudge here.
They run it again, and Rouse pushes Gatchel into the end zone for the touchdown. Another touchdown for the Ballard Bombers, 13-0.
13-0 with just 6:02. Bombers are in control right now, Brock, on both sides of the football. Special teams is good. Hopefully young freshman Sammy Hoffman can kick this one through.
2 rushing touchdowns for the Bombers so far tonight. PAT attempt from Hoffman upcoming, looking to make it 14-0. Snap, hold, kick is away, and it will be 14-0 in favor of your Ballard Bombers.
Good snap there from Ryan Cleverly. Got an update in district play. North Polk leads ADM 7-0 early in the first quarter, which ADM's going through some injuries. I don't know if Florida's back yet playing quarterback for them. Their quarterback, he went out against us, didn't play last week against Indianola, so they struggled a little bit. But that's in district play, and I believe those guys are solidified into the playoffs. North Polk's going to be in, and I believe ADM's going to be in with RPI, Indianola. So that's the deal, Brock, is we talked about early season schedule for the Bombers. our district is pretty tough. We're pretty top-heavy as far as that goes. We've got 3 teams in the playoffs, and I believe, well, Indianola is in. They won last night. They beat up on Hoover last night, I believe, down there at that new Mid-America or MediaCom field down there in Des Moines. So they got to play on a Thursday night. They rotate that field for those Des Moines public schools so they can get enough games in on Friday nights. So I'm 99% sure Indianola's in. We're the ones that are on the outside looking in. So keep playing like this, and we can take care of our business tonight. Another good kick there by Sammy Hoffman.
Brecky on the return gets the 15-yard line before being wrapped up and taken down from Tucker Vitzum.
Yeah, number one on the tackle, number 1 on the program, and number 1 in his parents' hearts for sure. Tucker Vitzum with a really nice open field tackle. Settled his feet down, didn't dive, squared him up. Excellent job by Vitzum. Vitzum can hit some. There you go.
Well put.
There you go, Bear.
So Jude Baumgartner comes out for the Toreadors for the second drive of the game for this offense.
Jude Baumgartner, just a sophomore for the Toreadors. So, again, a lot of underclassmen. The ball's on the turf. The ball's on the turf.
I think Baumgartner did recover it. It will be a loss of a couple yards.
It was Sampson on the initial hit.
Loss of 3.
Right now, the Bombers are just all over them right now, Brock. The Toreadors don't have a chance to really catch their breath at all. And if you're the Bombers, you want to stay on the gas pedal.
Officially a loss of 4, second down and 14.
I'll give you credit, Brock. You're standing up here, short sleeve shorts. I got my joggers on and a vest, and I'm still a little chilly. So you're a lot tougher than I am and a lot younger than I am, too, Bear.
I'm losing hair quicker, though.
Well, that's true. I didn't bring it up. You did.
Second down play will be stopped quickly by the Bomber defense on that run. Gain of 1, though, so it will be third down and long still for the Toreadors.
Third and long, and this is where those guys up front, the Wakas and the Sampsons of the world, this is where they like to eat. And look for Henry Christensen on the inside here, number 99. The junior is got an upcoming wrestling season where he's one of the favorites in 2A as far as wrestling goes, him and Sampson. But this up front, when it's third and long, these guys can get after the quarterback, and they play like their hair's on fire, and it's fun to watch.
Third down and 13. Baumgartner awaits the snap. He's looking to throw. Here comes the pressure from the Bomber defense. Fires it away, goes through the hands of Bolton. Dylan Bolton, number 8, was the intended receiver.
Another early update here. Lewis Central leads at Dallas Center Grimes 7-0 over there. I believe that's over there in Council Bluffs. We beat Dallas Center Grimes, and they've had a pretty fair season. We put a pretty big beat down on those guys when they came over here.
Able to shut them out.
Yeah, we shut them out. And since then, they've played some pretty good football. They've won some pretty good games. So they're behind us in the RPI. I don't know if we need them to win or lose, if they would jump us or not. But
ball is blocked, and it's picked up by a Bomber.
That's
and it'll go into the end zone.
Big Bo Ward.
The punter.
The punter gets the block punt for the touchdown. Bo Ward, 54.
What a way for the senior to have his moment on his regular season finale as a Ballard Bomber.
You betcha. Bo Ward picks it up. Nice job there by the Bombers getting the block punt. And again, the Toreadors just can't get a breath of fresh air. Bo Ward for
that was
6.
Great awareness right there from Ward.
Absolutely. Wow, over there in Glenwood, we've got a ball game. Norwalk leads Glenwood 14-7, and as a Bomber fan, we don't need that.
Good. Hoffman's PAT attempt is good. 21-0 with 4:19 left in the first quarter. Your Bombers lead it here in Rich Strauss Field.
Yeah, another good snap, another good hold, and right through the uprights, just how you draw it up. And how about Bo Ward? That'll be something that he'll never forget for the rest of his time, and I can attest to that because those guys that we talked to remember a lot of things from 65 years ago, and you can bet your bottom dollar Bo Ward will never forget about that, and that's a cool thing. So, and it gives the Bombers a 21-0 lead here, still with 4 to play in the first.
Bo Ward, a guy who handles the punting duties for the Bombers, able to get the blocked recovery for the blocked punt and returns it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I believe earlier this year you had Bo Ward and Torrey Taylor on the same level.
I mean, he had that coffin corner against DCG.
He did have the
led
coffin
to that
corner.
Safety.
You bet.
I mean, I think I even got a stat written down here about his punting this year. Yeah, tied for 7th in 4A for an average punting yards.
Yeah, Bo Ward, 54. That's, you know what, folks? We give Dan Inksler all the credit, but Brock Bierman does his research with that stat right there. And he probably leads all punters in 4A with touchdowns scored. Now.
Definitely.
Now. Yeah.
As
it's Hyman with the tackle.
So the Toradors take it over. That was Brecky on the return. Gets it around the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. Yeah, we're here in Rich Strauss Field. Great shot right there from Dan Inksler, our executive producer of the Ballard Bombers. New facility thing, a couple years old here. Yeah. Had a huge renovation. Helped a little bit that we were on the road basically an entire year due to storm damage from the derecho a couple years back.
Put the turf in and put that little house in over there for the away team to get dressed in. Oh boy.
First down, the Bombers wrap up quickly, and it'll be another loss of 2, tackled by Brody Sampson. But yeah, I remember coming here when you'd have to run, when you're running east-west, it's like running upfield basically because there was a hill basically on the field. And I love this facility now. It's a great place.
You betcha. Got a report from my guys down in Arizona. A couple of former Bombers, the Frazier brothers, are down watching in Arizona, and they just texted me and said Norwalk's throwing it all over Glenwood right now. And we got Steve and Jeremy over here keeping us updated on scores and just following the scores we need to around the state. But it doesn't sound great as Dan Inksler's running the cameras tonight, doing all of his things, and he's getting a shot of the guys that are doing the stuff. So it's Rob Mudd there in the picture, Brandon Brown, Jeremy Hildebrand, Steve Domino, and we sure appreciate those guys for helping us out tonight. And they're, they say it takes a village, and it really takes a lot of guys that are willing to donate their time to us, and we sure appreciate it. And it makes our broadcast really fun to be up here, but it gives us really good quality. And I think we give those folks at home that can't be here tonight. And if you can't be here, we understand. We'd love for you to be in the crowd, but we love that you're sitting at home and listening to us. A couple of guys that. We know a little something about nothing, and we know nothing about a lot, but we sure try it, and it's a heck of a lot of fun, especially when the Bombers are up 21-0 here.
After the timeout, Baumgartner looking to run over to the right side. There's Sparks, goes for the legs, goes down for a loss.
Looks like it's a 7-yard loss is what Brownie tells us, and Caleb Sparks, he flew in there. Sparks were flying on that one. He was all over that play, so outstanding.
Brings up 3rd down and 19. Probably a passing situation here for Baumgartner. Got to watch out, though, for the Bomber defense, again, for pressure, as well as if you throw it over to Landy, that's a messy situation.
That's a no-fly zone, right? And we call him Agent Zero. That's Gilbert Arenas' nickname, but you don't want to pick on Landy, and I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get 19 yards so far, and they're in the shadows of their own goal line again, which is scary if you're a Torador. Walk is right there.
And
that's
that
Jack Nelson.
Intercepted by Nelson. He's got a lane. Nelson going all the way to the house. Touchdown, Bombers.
54-55. Well, we got to look and see who's number 56 on the program for the Bombers. That's Lincoln Miller, who plays O-line, but he would be next in succession by numerical order for a touchdown. Jack Nelson with a full Nelson.
You're talking about seniors that are looking to make memories tonight. And what a way for Jack Nelson, number 55, for the Bombers to get a pick 6 on that play. We were talking about Landy. I guess we forgot about someone else.
We forgot about Jack Nelson. We are covering them like a blanket in the wintertime, and it is something special. Right now, if you're a Bomber fan, you're pretty happy.
PAT attempt is good. We still got 3 minutes left in the first quarter, but your Bombers lead at 28-0 here in Rich Strauss Field.
Here's the deal, Brock. The offense hasn't been on the field for the last 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we got the tush push with Gatchel to score, make it 14, and now we've had 2 consecutive touchdowns by the special teams and defense. I'll tell you what, if you had the Bombers special teams in D in fantasy football this week, you're looking pretty good.
For sure, and I mean, it's even better that it's 2 seniors right there. You wouldn't expect to ever get in the end zone.
Yep.
But they did right there.
And you're right, Brock. That's the beauty of football is because those guys have been – they've been dogs all year, right? They've made tackles. Jack Nelson, Bo Ward's he plays at H-back. He punts for us. He plays some down lineman stuff. And for those guys just to get in the end zone, that's a pretty cool thing for the big guys. Anytime big men score, it's always fun.
28-0 is the score here. 3:01 left in the first quarter. Bombers lead it.
Yeah, and you would say right now, the Boone being a big railroad town, you would say that right now they're getting derailed as far as that goes. And the Bombers are just keeping the pressure on them and not letting them off the mat. Sammy Hoffman, another good kick there from the freshman.
Another return from Brecky, caught around the 6-yard line. He's trying to find a lane, but Vitsum again is there, preventing any kind of gain really at all. Able to get to the 15-yard line before being stopped.
He's 3 for 3 right now. Vitsum is on kick coverage and staying in his lane, and you got to believe, like, wait, he's got to see number one because he's bearing down him. That's 3 straight solo tackles on kickoff coverage from Tucker Vitsum, the junior.
So the Torador offense comes back out. Last time out, Jack Nelson, the senior linebacker for the Bombers, able to get the pick 6. Handoff on first down, and they just run into a wall of Bomber defenders. Loss of 2. I think Hedrick and company on that one.
Yeah, just a squadron of Bombers on that one, you could say, on the tackle. And right now, Boone is just they don't really know what to do because they're not running the ball very well. The passing game isn't there because they don't have a lot of time. Got another update here. It's a shootout over there in Glenwood between Norwalk and Glenwood. It's 14-14 in the first quarter.
And that's the most important game.
I believe it is. We need Glenwood to win, and we need Pella to win tonight, Brock, for us to have a chance.
Baumgartner able to complete a pass over to Bolden. He's trying to break a couple tackles. Flag comes out. Couple flags come out, and he's finally brought down by Sparks.
Yep, I believe that's going to be a face mask there on Chance Landy. He just reached up and tried to grab something and just got his finger caught in his face mask. I don't believe it's either a 5 or a 15. We'll see what they decide. Personal foul. Well, that helps the Toradors a lot right there to get them out of the shadows and get them into a little better field position, the best they've seen all night so far against this Bomber defense. But we had, again, good pursuit to the football, but the Toradors find something on the edge there, took advantage of it.
First down of the night for the Toradors comes off of a face mask penalty. They're now at the 38-yard line. One of the few mistakes you will ever see Landy do on the defensive side of the ball as Baumgartner throws it again over to Bolden. He catches another one, and there's Landy. This time he just wraps him up, able to take him down. Gain of 2, though, for Bolden and the Toradors. Yeah, the Toradors think they found something there with that quick passing game, kind of that screen stuff, almost like a stretch run play, right? You know, they're not it's a high percentage throw, and it gives their guys a chance to get in space, but Landy said no after that last one with a little face mask there. Chance was Johnny on the spot. They took a chance, but they got the do not pass go, if you're familiar with the game of Monopoly, Brock. Very familiar as Baumgartner looks to throw again. He's going for Bolden once again, and Landy on the hit. Landy on the hit, but I think we should have a holding penalty. I'm trying to see, it's 65. Landon Carson, he basically got wrapped up there on the inside. I think that's what we're going to see is a holding on the Toradors. They spun Landon around. I think they might have been trying to two-step or a little do-si-do. It didn't matter to me, but he was getting held pretty big time there by the Toradors inside. That umpire saw it. And going back to that pass, great coverage from Sparks. I think Bolden was looking for a penalty on the hit from Landy. Yep. It was kind of a bang-bang play. Couldn't really make a It was, but it was a good clean hit. It was below his shoulders, and Landy led with his shoulder pad, which that's what they teach you now, instead of leading with the crown of the helmet. So I think it was just a good, clean play, but he kind of left him out to dry on that pass, and he was exposed for sure. But second and long here now, and this is where the Bombers can make some hay. Got a motion man. That looks like that's Dylan Bolton. Baumgartner looking. It's intercepted again. I think that's Henry Christensen, number 99. Big Hank Christensen. He sniffed that thing out. There's a penalty marker down.
Looks like we've got some extracurricular after the play. And I think it still will be Bomber football, but maybe not quite the field position we were hoping for.
So Christensen comes up with the interception. Looked like the Toradors were trying to do a screen pass on that. So interception will stay. And it'll be a personal foul against Brody Sampson, number 18 for the Bombers.
Yeah, so it'll remain Bomber football and personal foul after the play on Brody Sampson. We've talked about Brody all year. And it's almost like sometimes, Brock, it's like when you get, it's like and I don't want to say this in a bad way, but when you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar too many times and you get it slapped, but it seems like Brody's good for one of those a game. And again, you don't want to take his aggressiveness away, but you just want to tell him, hey, it's our football. Don't hurt our team, help our team. And he helps our team in many ways as he leads the state in sacks, but he probably leads the state in personal fouls or 15-yard penalties. So it's a give-and-take relationship, right? So the Bomber coaching staff knows, but they love with the effort and energy with which Brody plays. And it's a fine line when you get a guy like that. And he plays like his hair's on fire, and he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Hand off to Rouse up the middle, finds a hole. Able to get a good gain of 8 yards before being brought down by number 55, Wyatt Anderson, the senior for the Toradors.
Yeah, nice hole up front there from the Bomber front. The big guys up front doing their job. I don't think Eli was touched the first 5 yards of that thing, and that's good stuff. When you're Eli, you see that hole and you go, whoa, all right, let's downhill running. Now we got a good position here for the Bombers. Maybe look for him to air it out here with Gatchel. Landy down here on the numbers.
They do look to throw. They fire it. It's caught inside the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown.
I believe that was down with the Sidness, Eric Sidness.
Number 24, Eric Sidness with the reception. Another touchdown for the Bombers in this first quarter.
And here's another time I wish we had the telestrator and instant replay, Brock, because the timing with that, we saw the play action, we faked it to Hedrick, and that was a little seam route, and Mason hit him in stride, and it was a beautiful, beautiful throw. And Sidness for 6. That's good football right there, Brock. That is really good football. And you talked about earlier as far as improvement on the offensive side. Mason Gatchel, usually his target early in the year was Landy, right? If in doubt, throw it to Chance. Right there, he looked, ran it, he faked the handoff, and boom, right down that seam again and put it right on Sidness's numbers. And he did the rest to get in.
35-0 here. 29 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, I just got a report from our guy Nels Nord here. And Nels is a little guy, so if you folks from Ballard know, he has to mention that he says 5'5" Jose Altuve just hit a 3-run homer sounds like to beat the Rangers. So appreciate you, Nels, for watching and tuning in. But Nels is a baseball guy, and all those guys still are that we talked to on Wednesday night. But Jose Altuve, that guy's like Mr. October for the Astros.
It's crazy.
He's about knee-high to a grasshopper, and he hits it over the fence. I don't understand it. It's crazy. So for you Rangers fan, my nephew's a big Rangers fan, and he's probably reeling right now. I haven't got a text from him, but I probably will.
Hoffman, another great kick for the freshman.
Puts it high in the air and deep, and
Bolden able to break a couple tackles, gets to the 18-yard line before finally being brought down by Waka.
Yeah, Tucker Vitsom just missed him on that one, but Tucker was trying to make it 4 for 4. Didn't quite, but the Bombers are rolling right now, Brock.
We have running clock due to the 35-point rule here in the state of Iowa, so that will do it here for the first quarter of play. Your Bombers lead at 35-0 at the end of the first quarter against the Boone Toradors in the regular season finale for both teams.
And that's going to be the final play of quarter number 1. Your score, Ballard 35-0.
Well, Bear, I'll tell you what. Well, as we look on the screen there, folks, I want to give a shout-out to the Ballard Booster Club. They do some great things. They got the QR code on there. If you're not a Ballard Booster Club member, you can Scan that QR code right on your screen you see there. We had Russ Zimmerman on here, probably a month ago, president of the Booster Club. They do all kinds of great stuff for all athletics, 7 through 12. Whatever the coaches need, the kids need, they help out with summer camps, with just about anything that they really need, whether it's basketballs or footballs or tackling dummies or volleyballs or nets or any of that stuff. The Booster Club is one of the best in the state. And honestly, folks, the Booster Club does it, but you folks at home who are members, all of you families, individuals, and you businesses, couldn't be done without you. It's why we're able to put on a really solid broadcast here. They help out with that Huddle subscription, which is a great tool for us at the network and also for the coaching staff and the kids throughout the whole year. So if you're wondering, with the Huddle membership, you can watch the 7th grade games that are out here at Rich Strauss Field, the 8th grade games, the freshmen, the JV games. Same thing goes for volleyball in the hangar in there. So we appreciate the Booster Club. If you get a chance, you're not a member, sign up now. They do have monthly meetings, so we appreciate the Ballard Booster Club.
Without them, we wouldn't be here right now calling this amazing 35-0 game in favor of the Ballard Bombers. First down, Baumgartner looking to throw, looking to fire one deep, and he will overthrow his intended receiver, Bolden, by a couple yards, maybe 10 yards overthrown.
Caleb Sparks with really good coverage. And you know what? You talk about a guy in Gatchel that improved on the offensive side. Caleb Sparks has come alive on the defensive side, and kudos to the defensive staff. He plays that somewhat like a nickel back, so he's not we're not talking Chad Kroger. We're not talking about the band, Brock, that you probably like to listen to. But the nickelback position, he's like that walk-up safety linebacker. And Sparks has done a really, really good job in that position. He's made some big hits. He's forced some turnovers, and he had great coverage there. He's in the slot now.
Handed off to Ingram, and he's wrapped up and brought down for a loss. Loss of 5.
It looked like that was Sampson in there. Maybe 29. That looks like Hyman, and Hedrick was in there. And the thing about Brody Sampson is he's a wrestler, right? So he's got really good hands. And if he gets his hands on you, and he's a long guy, so if he gets his hands on you and extends, you're in trouble as an offensive lineman. And as a running back or somebody in the backfield, you're going, oh, no, because he's already 2 yards on your side of the line of scrimmage. And that's hard to deal with because he's an athlete, too, and he can run. He can really run.
Got a lot of great wrestlers on this Bomber defense. It's helped them a lot this season as they have shut out Boone so far tonight. Baumgartner looking to throw, overthrows Bolden, the intended receiver. Actually, correction, that was number 6, Grant Wiesbrod. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, now 4th and long here for the Toradors. Yeah, I think the clock should be running unless it's just a second half thing, but I thought it was if you were up by 35, it should be running. Yeah, there it's running again. We're not used to that kind of thing around here, Brock, but we'll take it. We had a little bit last week and now this week, but keep that clock running now. The Toradors are in a true, looks like punt formation. There's a good one.
It'll be Landy on the return. Flag is no flag. Landy over to the 30-yard line, spins over the tackler, Ingram, and able to get inside the 30.
Tell you what, Chance caught that one. I thought he was going to fair catch it. It hung in the air for quite a while. Pretty decent coverage from Boone, but Rouse did a nice job picking up the first man, which was the long snapper. Landy comes down the right side here on the numbers, and Bo Ward was looking for somebody to block. Didn't find anybody. He threw that lookout block. Lookout, Chance, here they come. But still, great field position again for the Bombers. A little bunch set over here. It looks like we got Sean Horse and PC maybe in that H-back set with Landy in the stack.
Little counter action from Rouse off the pitch, able to pick up a first down before being tackled. Joe Jordan, number 2 for the Toradors on the tackle. A gain of 14 sets up a first down. Little misdirection a little bit on that.
Yeah, it was, and I like that formation there with that bunch and kind of brought him back and pulled that inside guy. Wasn't so much a trap, but we led that with that, looked like it might have been Lincoln Miller leading him through the hole there. Really impressive. Same set, same look.
Rouse trying to find something out of nothing, able to pick up a couple yards. I think he picked up 4 or 5. Pick up a 4 officially. Christian Ingram, to be specific, on the tackle.
So what you're going to look for now, Brock, is you're going to look for a counter off that formation with that bunch set, because you got Landy on the front of it, and you've got Sean Horse on the back side of it over here on the right side. So that bunch, we've seen now to the same play. Look for that, and maybe we won't see it here, but if we can see something next week, if we were able to go on, that's another look that the Bombers we haven't really seen this year, but like the formation, like the play call.
Rouse in motion. They'll give it to him on a screen. He's got a wide open lane and another touchdown for Eli Rouse in this Bomber offense.
And if I'm Eli Rouse, I go over and I shake Jacob Luster's hand, because Luster locked onto him out there and Rouse was not touched, which is awesome because Luster has been doing that all year long. The wide receivers are blocking. Coach Tyler Peterson, who runs the wide receivers, knows what he's doing. So that's kudos to Luster on the block. And he caught that 40-yarder earlier, so things are good for the Bombers right now. We got big men scoring. We got guys catching long passes and blocking, and everything's just simpatico right now for the Bombers.
42-0 is the score. Your Bombers lead it. You see Rouse coming off the field. He did acknowledge that block from Luster, which was great to see. Luster not necessarily the biggest guy on the field, but able to make a big block on that play that resulted in that touchdown.
Yeah, this is kind of what we talked about earlier in the week, Brock, and what we hope for. The Bombers to come out with some aggression and take it right to the Toradors and really leave no doubt, and they have. And they're just stepping on the gas pedal, and they're just playing really, really solid football. Looks like we got a new kicker in here for the Bombers.
That'd be Soash?
Yeah, that is Soash. 44, Soash will come in and handle the kickoff duties here for Sammy Hoffman.
We saw him last week against North, and he had a couple good kickoffs for the Bombers
yes,
as well.
Yes, he did, and I believe he had a PAT as well.
So Soash's kick will be caught around the 11-yard line by Bolden, and Bolden is wrapped up and taken down from behind.
That was number 19, Dylan Schoen.
And this Bomber, like everything, there's not one thing so far, maybe a couple penalties that went against the Bombers that may have hurt them a little bit, but so far really hasn't been anything that hasn't went the Bombers' way.
Yep, clicking on all cylinders. Special teams, offense, defense, everybody came to play. And looks like 6 minutes left in the second quarter. North Polk leads ADM 14-0. That's in district play. We thought that might be the case. We snuck that one out against North Polk. I'm not sure how we did it, Brock, but we did to win that game 7-6 against a really good North Polk team.
Here comes Ingram off the pitch, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Eiley, I think that was.
Yeah, that was Chase Eiley there, the sophomore coming flying through there.
Loss of 3.
I'm trying to figure out who set the edge there for the Bombers, but they extended that play, spilled it outside. That's what we call the spill. Take on that block and spill it out. So if you're running horizontal, you're not gaining any yards. And young Eiley's got good speed, pursued the football. He's kind of feeling that one a little bit. Got to put a little more meat on that young man's bones.
Brings
Boone.
up second down.
2 tight end set. That's Waka.
And right away, they fake the handoff to Ingram, but Baumgartner taken down by Waka. And, I mean, we've mentioned he gets a lot of tackles, and he's in there again.
Yep. And he did a nice job. He came off the edge pretty much uncontested, broke down, but Baumgartner kind of fell right in his lap. And you can't do that against a guy like Jackson Waka. He's one of the best tacklers, as you referenced earlier in the game. He's one of the best tacklers in the state. And that was one where his probably eyes lit up and thought, oh, he might have saw the football too, but he made the right play and just fundamental.
And watch the pressure again for the Bombers on another 3rd down and 19 for the Toradors. Looking to throw. Here comes the Bomber defense, and great pressure, I think, from number 65, Landon Carson, able to effect that throw. Falls incomplete, and 4th down.
Carson in there, and that was Eiley on the coverage, number 3. Chase Eiley on the coverage again. Front 7, the back end of the defense, everybody's playing together. And when you play good assignment football, good things happen.
4th down and 19. Looks like it's going to be another punt here.
They were a little early, yep. Oh, and he boomed that thing. Oh.
That's a heartbreaker.
That is. They just moved, and the punter was that. Is it Baumgartner, their punter? It looks like, yeah, that was Jude Baumgartner. He bombed that one to no avail. Landy and Eli, Chance Landy and Eli Rouse kind of looked at each other and said, whoa, that's a little ways over our head. But really, he put a leg into that one.
Still 4th down, but now it's 4th down and about 24 yards.
It's a 4th down and a long row to hoe here. And the Bombers smell blood in the water right now.
Rouse gets it on the return. It cuts to the right side. He's got a wide open lane to get inside the 20 to the 15. Pushed out of bounds by number 5, Christian Ingram. And the Bomber offense again will take over with the possession. 4:25 left in the half. Clock running. 42-0 is the score.
Yeah, that was Eli Rouse there on the CB radio saying 10-4 Rubber Ducky. We got ourselves a convoy down the right-hand side. He had Landy and he had Eiley out there in front. First and 10 from the 13, it looks like, of the Toradors. Bombers clicking on all cylinders right now.
Looking to keep the momentum going here. 1st down. Handoff to Hedrick. He cuts over to the left side, trying to find a way to gain even more yards before being brought down by the Boone Torador defense. Gain of 6 yards for Bombers.
Really nice run there by Rhett, and we've seen him do that a couple times this year. Got good patience. You know, he kind of puts his hand right on those guys' back, and he makes a cut when he needs to, but he lets his big guys lead him, and he follows. And nice run. Nice job by the big guys up front. Bombers are having their way on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. See this bunch set again here, Brock.
2nd down. They'll pitch it to Hedrick. He runs over to the right side, cuts inside the 5, able to pick up the 1st down, it looks like, at the moment. Tackled by Hernstorm for the Toradors. Good enough for a 1st down. Like you mentioned, they kept countering that on the first misdirection on the first couple times they ran that bunch formation, and this time Hedrick just kept running right.
Yep, kind of that little sweep play, that power sweep action. USC used to run it a long time ago when John Robinson was their coach.
Handoff, Hedrick cuts, trying to get into the end zone. Is he in? Waiting for a signal. It looks like he may be a yard, maybe even an inch short. Gain of 3.
Just right there at the goal line.
Wouldn't be shocked that the Bombers do another sneak here up the middle on 2nd down and basically a centimeter.
Yeah, it's right there. But you know what? As we saw in the North Polk game when they were against us, it's a long ways to get across that goal line. But I got to believe that Red Hedrick's sniffing that end zone here.
They'll hand it up to him. He takes it in for a touchdown, and the Bombers keep rolling on the scoreboard. This time Hedrick gets the call for 6.
That was Wyatt Greenfield on the lead block there. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Gilbert Tigers lead the Pella Dutch 7-0.
That's interesting.
Which, as a Bomber fan, we don't need that. 9-0 now. Gilbert leads. Looks like there must have been a safety in that game.
PAT attempt. Oh, it might have been no good. It is no good. It goes a little left for Hoffman.
Yeah, that was actually Roman Goldbertson.
Oh.
We had a new kicker in there. Goldbertson, the sophomore, just pulled it a little bit left. Bombers are rolling right now. The clock is rolling not right now, but it will be. Like you mentioned earlier, that 35-point rule. But you know what, Brock? We've got some halftime entertainment tonight.
Yes, we got the Ballard Youth Football.
We do. We got the 6th graders from Ballard Youth Football get to come out here. It's kind of their culmination for playing that the Ballard Jets program. So those kids will be out here at halftime, get to run around under the lights, Friday night lights, scrimmage against each other. So should be a fun time. We got a lot of the Ballard Youth football team here. They actually were all invited. You wear your jersey, you get in free. Nice to have all the parents as well in the crowd. And what a great experience for the Bombers, and what a great game for them to be at. But they're the future of the program. Looks like that was Soashigan maybe on the kickoff.
And return from Brecky And a big hit from the return defense. I think that was Waka again.
That was Waka again. And the thing about it is that a lot of these guys from the Bombers on the defensive side play on that kickoff team. You know, so they're used to contact, and in some cases you see special teams guys that maybe don't play on the defensive side or the offensive side. But Coach Hoke will be the first one to tell you special teams is a big part of the game, and you got to be pretty sure-handed and sure tackling to get the job done, and the Bombers did a great job there with Waka. Just 1:20 to go here in the first half. It's been a quick one.
Baumgartner takes it after faking the handoff, and he'll get pushed out of bounds for a loss.
It looks like a loss of 2 there. Baumgartner again. The Bombers just spilling that thing to the outside, making him run horizontal. Not a lot of east to west stuff going on, or north-south, I should say. There's more east-west than there is north-south right now for the Toreadors. Second quarter, Glenwood leads Norwalk 21-14, which if you're a Bomber fan, that's what we like to see over there. We need Glenwood to take down the Norwalk Warriors, I believe, is their mascot. I'm not sure what is Glenwood. Do we know, Brock?
Rams, maybe?
Glenwood Rams. Oh,
Baumgartner's trouble on the snap.
It's still loose. The ball's still loose. That was Sampson, and will probably get credit for it on the sack. And it looks like it's going to be Bomber football, maybe. Loss of 7. Bo Ward was on that ball, but we're not sure what's going on unless we've got timeout. Well, they're going to keep it with the Toreadors, it looks like. But the clock stopped.
We have an inadvertent whistle. Boone has elected to replay the down, second down.
Oh, Boone got a break there. Had an inadvertent whistle. They fumbled it. I believe the Bombers came up with it. But we'll get a redo. Brock's not a fan of the redo in the football.
Would have been another turnover for the Bombers.
Would have been another turnover for the Bombers, you bet. We're getting greedy now, Brock, but the clock probably should be rolling here. It's not, but it was a inadvertent whistle, so we'll get her going here on the snap. And
so still second down and 12. They'll hand it off to Bolden on the jet sweep, and here comes the Bomber defense swarming him, and he's finally brought down. I think Sampson and company on the tackle.
That was 29. Daniel Hyman was out there, missed on him the first time, but pursued him again, got back in on the tackle to get an assist. That should do it here at the end of the first half.
3 seconds left in the half, and that should be the last play. 48-0 is your score. The Ballard Bombers are leading the Boone Toreadors here in Huxley, Iowa, inside the beautiful Rich Strauss Field. We will be off the headsets for a little bit here, but we will keep it live for the Ballard youth football team. The 6th graders are going to be scrimmaging here during the halftime. After that, we'll come back on, recap the first half, give some score updates, and then we'll get the second half underway.
You betcha.
information, this is Ethan Hokel. We're here tonight with Ballard Youth Football Night. I think our kids are somewhere there. Not paying attention to be announced, but anyway, we just want to say thank you so much, first off, to everybody who made this season possible for Ballard Youth Football. Coaches, board of directors, everybody helped with chains, scoreboard, ball president, Greg Courier for announcing. I truly believe we have one of the best atmospheres for our little kids to play on when we get to play at home. Dave and Pat Howitz came all 3 weekends to set up and sell food here, which is great, and everybody enjoys that. And then just thank you to all the parents for letting your kids play a great game of football. It's truly an honor to have over 90 kids out again this year. So we had 4 teams. We're very close actually to having second juniors team and the second fifth graders team, which would make 6. But
all right, folks. You know, we just got the program here. This is Tim Davis. Brock's going to take the halftime off. He's got some stuff he's got to handle. But we got the Ballard 6th graders, the Ballard Jets out here. We got the red versus the white. The Reds on offense. Quarterback for the red team looks like is it number 1?
So first off, just want to announce
and he just passes it incomplete. That looks like it's Carter Dingle on that pass. Just misses him there as his dad, looks like his dad Greg's calling the plays in the huddle, so he'll probably have a conversation about that at home tonight since this game is on film. You can hear the PA guy, that's Ethan Hokel, kind of runs the Ballard Youth Football program, and this is a great thing that the Ballard Youth program does along with the high school team to get these guys out there. They got a little traveling league here that they play around, and they've traveled down to Harlan and Van Meter, and looks like Dingle will be back in the shotgun here. Gives the handoff to 21. That looks like that's Camden Miller on the carry. Looks like he might maybe put it on the turf, recovered by 79. Looks like Caleb White maybe. That's 79 or 73 there for the white team for the Bombers. And forgive me, folks, we're on the fly, but we said, hey, Ethan, you got a program. We'll try to do our best to get these kids some time on the network. And just a little snapshot into their future here, hopefully, for these future Ballard Bombers. It'll still be the red team's ball. Coach Greg Dingle gives him the instructions, shows him the play. It'll be number 45. Chase Tapp will be the center. Dingle goes under center now. A little play action. Got a little throwback screen. That's number 23 with the catch. Looks like Reed Bruning. Reed Bruning with a nice catch. Little throwback screen there from Coach Dingle. Bruning takes it down to about the 13-yard line of the Bombers, going against the Bombers, so bear with us. The red team's on the drive as that was 3rd and long. Good little play call there from Coach Dingle. Carter threw it out there. Reed Bruning with the catch takes it down. So it'll be 1st down and 10 here for the Bomber red team. Tapp's got the ball at center. Dingle's back in the shotgun with 2 backs, the split backs. Looks like it's Miller and Bruning back there with him. Barking the signals is Dingle. With the fake, he rolls to his left. He's got Miller in the flat. A little short on the pass there. Looks like 73 was in on the pressure. It'll be Cruz Howe on the pressure there. And it looks like we're going to swap sides. They had their attempt for the red team. Now it looks like the white team will take over on the offensive side. So nice little drive there by the Bomber red squad. Now the white team will take over here.
32, Maddox Adams. 35, Obi Jensen. 43, Samuel Greenfield. 48.
Looks like, is that Mason Adams? Is he the guy running the offense here for the Ballard white team in the white uniform? So the Bombers do this. Their 6th grade team got quite a few guys out as Coach Hokel's on the PA system here at Rich Strauss Field. One of the biggest classes they've had. There's the handoff. That was number 30 taking the handoff. Looks like Chase Dietrich on that one. Gain of just maybe a yard or 2 as the red team stopped him right away. Jablonski. Looks like Meyer Jablonski, number 11, is quarterbacking the team here. Go under center with a fullback behind him. Now with the give, it looks like that's to number 27 maybe. Finn Jorgensen with the carry off the right side. Gain of about 2 there for the Bombers. It'll be 3rd and somewhat long. You know, and all the things that are great about a small community, this is one of them, folks. You heard it earlier with the national anthem being sung by the crowd that was started by the student section. And if you can see out here right now, all these young players and the coaches, they're all parents, they're all volunteers. And this is what makes Ballard and Ballard community a great thing. There's the fake, the play action. Jablonski throws it deep, looking for his fullback, and that's good coverage out there. That was number 1. Looked like Carter Dingle on the coverage out there for the Bombers. Good throw by Jablonski to his fullback out there, but that was Dingle on the coverage. And number 30, Chase Dietrich, was the intended receiver. Now it'll be 3rd and long, 4th and long. I'm not sure. I think we're just playing a certain amount of downs. 48's not sure where he's supposed to be, getting lined up, but that's okay. We're all learning out of the I set. Jablonski with the handoff. That's 27. It looks like that was Finn Jorgensen again. On the tackle, it looked like that was number 21. It looked like Camden Miller on the tackle there. The big guys up front of the red team, 45. That looks like Tapp. And number 60, that's Dylan Hyatt. The guys on the inside, 59 on the outside, Brooks Holland. The guys up front. The white team's on the drive here, though. Jablonski will go under center out of the I set. Pro set here. Jablonski with the fake. Looking for the screen pass. Nobody there. Pressure. Jablonski tucks it and runs with the scramble. Jablonski, nice play and nice tackle there. Jablonski with a nice run. Looked like 23 was that Bruning on the tackle. It was 23 Reed Bruning on the tackle there for the red team. But Jablonski with a nice scramble, had nothing on the screen action, tucked it and run. Now it looks like 1st and goal from the 5. As the Ballard Jets on the white squad on the drive here. As we've got the rest of the kids, every kid that came with their jersey on running down the sideline, as I believe they will create a tunnel for the Bomber varsity team to run out of. A little reverse play. They put it on the turf. Jablonski gave it to 32. Maddox Adams just dropped that one on the reverse. Maddox has got good wheels. He's not happy with himself as he couldn't handle that handoff. A little trickery there on the 5-yard line. Coach Adams talking to his son Maddox. I believe he's got some words for him, saying pick your head up. Don't worry about it. On to the next one. The Bomber Jet team, the red team will take over here from the 25. Going left to right on your radio dial, north to south. Great experience here for this Bomber, the Bomber Jets and all the Jet program. So again, fun time for these kids. So if you're ever wondering if football is alive and well here in Ballard, it definitely is with these kids. Looks like we got a new quarterback in for the red squad. Number 5 gives it. The quarterback looks like Kelton Nobling's back there at quarterback. Just gave it to 21. That's Camden Miller. Took the handoff for no gain from Kelton. I know Kelton's dad, Jamie, does a nice job with these guys. I believe he's the head coach of this team, and he runs a little bit of the defense. Coach Dingle shows him the play. Red squad will come up. The white there with no gain on that play. Offensive linemen getting their splits. Good to see. Kelton will go under center. They'll come out of the I formation. Miller deep in the I. Little fake. Nobling rolls right. Throws it, just overshoots number 40. Number 40 looks like that was Dayton Ruby was the intended receiver, but Kelton just overshot him by a little bit. Looks like JP Sheehan broke that one up. Number 5 on the white squad over there. Broke that play up. Good to see these guys out here flying around. Bomber Jets red team looks to get set. 2-back set with Nobling in the shotgun. Like he's got Bruning and Miller beside him. Kelton takes the snap. Tosses it out there to Camden Miller. Makes one guy miss down the sideline. Looks like he'll be broke down, tackled by a gaggle out there. 25 was in on the tackle. Trying to get that number. Looks like number 8 or 5. Can't see it from up here. My eyes aren't. Maybe number 11 there on the white squad with a tackle. Yeah, Meyer Jablonski with a tackle out there. Now we'll switch back over. So the Bomber Jet red team will go to defense. The white team will come back on the offensive side. So far, true to form in Bomber fashion, it's a defensive battle for both teams here at halftime. Jablonski will be back in at quarterback for the Jet White team here, under center, out of the eye. Little counter, puts the ball on the turf. Picked up there by number 30. That was Dietrich that picked it up off the turf. Had a little trouble with the exchange from Jablonski to Dietrich. Be second and long here for the Jets. Out there for the Jets, we're trying to figure it out under center. Looks like he broke a tackle. He's got a lane. That's a touchdown. Chase Dietrich, number 30, takes it off the left side, and he'll score from 25 yards out. Chase Dietrich for 6. Well executed play there from the Jets. Looks like we're going to try a PAT. Jablonski will hold. And it looks like J.P. Sheehan is going to try the PAT. As the Bomber varsity teams comes through the tunnel. There's the snap, the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. It's up and good. PAT. That'll do it for the Bomber Jets here at halftime. 7-0 was the final, but nobody loses in this one as these sixth graders get to come on Rich Strauss Field on the turf, Friday Night Lights. Great experience for them, and now the Bomber varsity teams come out of the locker room, get ready here for the second half. Again, we appreciate Ballard Youth Football, all the coaches, the players that put in the time, and all you parents out there that help make this happen and get your kids to practice and to the games and the uniforms washed. Kudos to you. The Ballard football program is in good hands, and it's growing exponentially, and it's great to have these kids here on a beautiful Friday night and seeing the Bomber team at the high school level take care of business. Folks, that was a pleasure of mine. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes off here as both teams will come out of the locker room. The Toreadors out of the locker room. Bombers are getting stretched out. We'll be back with you here in just a couple minutes.
getting ready here for the second half of play here in Rich Strauss Field. Huxley, Iowa, Ballard Bombers up 48-0 against the Boone Toreadors. Tim's getting his headset on here real quick. We're getting ready to go.
I got distracted, Brock. The main sponsor here, Flight Bar and Grill, Matt Pasha just brought up some sliders, some pulled pork sliders up here, and they smell amazing. I feel like I'm on
jealous.
the set of College Game Day right now. Rob Mudd, one of our spotters, saying it's really good, Tim. Yeah, thanks, Rob. We're going to call the game now here in the second half. Got an update from the Gilbert Pella game. Gilbert leads 16-7 in that one, so Pella did score. There's the kickoff. Oh,
there's Bolden.
Bolden's got nowhere to go.
And
that looked like that was Caden Anderson was the first one down there, spun him back around, and then there was another squadron of Bombers in on that tackle. So not great field position again for the Toreadors. Dan Ingsler, how's that slider?
He can't even
talk, folks.
So good.
My mouth is watering, and these guys are up here eating, and Rob's having seconds. Rob, have one for me, would you, pal? I tell you, again, we can't appreciate Flight Bar and Grill enough, being our main sponsor here for the network, and Matt and Marianne, they take good care of us, whether it's up here, up top, or even when we're using the Flight Lounge. They kind of give us free reign, and we appreciate that. Nice run there from the Toreadors.
That's Christian Ingram on the first down run, able to find a hole, one of the few holes on this entire game that we've seen.
Yeah, and on the inside, right, between the tackles. They haven't made any hay between the tackles, and that's their longest gain, again, between the tackles. They've had some success on the edges, very minimal, but that's a nice 5-yard, 6-yard gain there for the Toreadors here. And if you're Ballard, if you're the Bombers, play within yourself, play smart football, and take some pride in your defense now. Don't get complacent. Wrap up, make tackles, just like that one right there. That was Hyman for the Bombers.
That was another handoff from Ingram.
So Christensen and Hyman in on that tackle. But, again, now we got 3rd and 3 here. And the clock continues to run.
Yep, due to the state of Iowa rules, we have running clock here for the second half of play. Bombers are up 48-0. The rule is 35 points. So we've had running clock since the first quarter, basically. The Bombers have been rolling all over the Toreadors tonight.
Yeah, it's been all Bombers tonight in all facets. You said earlier, Brock, offense, defense, special teams, everybody's clicking on all the same cylinders. Ooh, and Bo Ward was a little antsy.
They give it again to Christian Ingram.
Looks like it could be a first down for the Toreadors.
I think that might be the first down, like not through a penalty.
Correct. Yep, I believe that is on 3 downs to get a first one. That is the first of the night for the Toreadors. So
great job by the Bombers so far tonight, being able to prevent anything from this Toreador offense.
Yeah, so for you folks following at home, we just mentioned it earlier, Gilbert leads Pella 16-7 in that one. And the Glenwood Rams, we did get confirmation it is the Glenwood Rams and the Norwalk Warriors. That was a shootout there in the second quarter. The Rams were up 21-14 last time that we heard, and we'll try to get you updated here as soon as we get a score.
Baumgartner looking to throw, but he's pressured and brought down. Ball is loose.
Ball is loose.
I think the Toreadors may have recovered it.
Was Waka in on that one. It looked like Bo Ward was there sniffing around, but Jackson Waka, you can't hold on to that ball too long against this Bomber defense, not with Waka and Sampson running around out there.
That was number 57, Henderson Gustafson, on the recovery. Credit to him to be able to find that ball because it looked lost there for a second there.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that are movie buffs out there, Waka and Sampson, they're kind of like Frank the Tank on Old School. You know, when he says bird dog and Frankie, that's what these guys are. They're just bird dogging the football. There's a nice hole, though. Nice little run there for positive yards. Looks like 5
yards for Christian Ingram. Sorry. Correction. You used to call him Henry Christensen.
Right. And Christian Ingram, he's got that number 5 on. And for those Hawkeye fans out there, number 5 and the word first name Christian goes back to McCaffrey in the Rose Bowl. We don't want to talk about that. McCaffrey had the Hawkeyes on skates in that one.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I am so happy it went that way.
Well, and I'm a Notre Dame fan, and so they beat us that year.
Oh, yeah.
Us. I didn't go to Notre Dame, so they beat them, I should say. But that number 5 in that white jersey Well, it looks like we got a timeout from the Toradors. They want to talk about this 3rd and long play because here they are again, not in great field position with 3rd and long. This is where the Bombers defense likes to eat, especially those guys up front.
So it is 48-0 here. Bombers lead it against the Toradors. Regular season finale. Bombers hoping for another week of football, but again, a lot needs to happen throughout the state in order for that to happen, even for the Bombers to even have a chance at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after the timeout, it will bring up 3rd down and 13 for the Toradors. See if the Bombers here can force another turnover or even get a stop and force 4th down. Baumgartner looking to throw. Here comes Sampson on the pressure. Able to get it completed by Bolden. He's got a 1st down in Moore. Wide open space. Breaks the tackle. Ian Moore to the 40, inside the 35 before finally getting tackled by the Bomber defense. Great run from Dylan Bolden. Gain of 50.
Gain of 50 and just a lapse there by the Bomber defense, and that's why the Toradors called that timeout. Draw something up. Some missed tackles there on after the catch. That's not going to make the Bomber staff very happy. But you want to get to perfection, right? But we all know that that's unattainable. But you want to be as close as you can. And right there, you just got to make those tackles and can't let them get loose on that one.
Handoff to Ingram up the middle. Able to pick up a yard before being tackled by Waka. Brings up 2nd down. And, I mean, they've been targeting Bolden all night. Finally, he gets one where he's able to break free. And, I mean, what a great catch and run right there from Bolden.
Yeah, Dylan Bolton, good wheels from the junior there. Pretty quick down that sideline, made a couple guys miss and had good balance. So, again, just a junior. So this Boone team maybe is a year away. I feel like we're going to see them improve by leaps and bounds if these guys stay out, get in the weight room, work at it a little bit. But our district is tough.
Our district,
for sure. There's no weeks off when you get into district play at all.
2nd down and 9. Handoff now, they give it back over to Bolden. He's running to the right side. He's got some room, able to pick up the 1st down for the Toradors. And just like that, they're inside the 25.
Yeah, nice run there by Bolton again, and he was chased down by Sampson on that one. I'm not sure what we're looking for, but we're looking for something. But it almost looked like we might have got held out there, but maybe missed it. But you know what? We got to be better at the point of attack.
It was a good reversal there from the Toradors. Started with handing it off to Christian Ingram, and then he flipped it over to Bolden, able to pick up the 1st down for the Toradors. Ball is officially on the 25-yard line. And another timeout called by the Toradors here with 5:18 left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that clock just keeps moving, so that's the only way they can get it stopped is with the timeout. So, and the Toradors got something cooking here. First time really all night that they've moved the ball on this Ballard defense, and the Ballard defense is probably going to bow their necks up here, and we get a little nasty. It looks like we got an update here on some scores throughout. Looks like Glenwood leads 24-14 at halftime over Norwalk. Bondurant Farrar leads Carlisle 13-0 in the 2nd quarter. Gilbert leads Pella 16-13 with just about 12 seconds before the half. So Pella making a charge back in that one. And that Norwalk-Glenwood game and the Pella-Gilbert games are the ones that we're really paying attention to, Brock, because I think that we've done some research. Our guys in the back have done some research this week, and they've pinpointed those 2 games as being the ones that we really need to pay attention to, unless something really wonky happens. But
we need Glenwood to win, right?
We do need Glenwood to win, yep, and hopefully that would knock Norwalk down in the RPI system. But, it's anytime you leave your fate in somebody else's hands, that's hard to do. But that looks like a new quarterback in here.
And the ball is loose on the ground, and it looks like the Bombers got it. Is that Christensen?
That's big Hank Christensen with his second turnover of the game.
Able to strip it loose. Flags come out.
Well, we got a penalty somewhere. There's a flag well after the play. Waka was the only Bomber back there, but I don't know. I'm not sure what we're looking at.
So one would assume that the fumble recovery will stand, but it will be a personal foul after the play.
It'll be personal foul, taunting, or something. The officials are discussing right now. We'll get an announcement here.
Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 18, Ballard. Taunting. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. First down, Ballard.
Well, that's another one on Brody Sampson, and we're not sure. I didn't see it. I don't know if he said something or.
Do you get three or?
Well, I believe the taunting and the unsportsmanlike, I'm not sure on that. But I think if you get too unsportsmanlike, you should be gone. So I don't know if they're writing it down. I don't know about that. But that's still just you just can't do that. We just cannot have that.
Turnover still stands. Gatchel looking to throw on first down. Fires a deep ball to Lady. He catches it at the 50, inside to the 40, before finally being brought down. What a throw from Gatchel to Landy.
Yeah, he put that one right on the numbers there for a long gain. And you know what? It's 48-0, but this might be the last one for the Bombers this year and for these seniors. So, you know what? Coach Howard's airing it out, letting his quarterback gain some confidence, because you know what, if we do play next week, we're seeing a different Mason Gatchel right now than what we've seen all year. Again, 48-0. Let's not put too much stake in it. But still, really good throw there on Landy right in stride. You're going to give him another shot.
Fires it away. It is caught by Eric Sidness.
Sidness kind of fell down on that route, got himself together, and Mason had to double clutch it. Pretty good. Mason's got good elusiveness, and he just got that one over the outstretched hand. And Rob Mudd showing me pictures of his family. Well, we just got a report. It sounds like that Eli Rouse needs one touchdown to become the all-time leading scorer for Bomber football. So that's some big news there. So we got something more to cheer for the Bombers and Eli Rouse, because he's an outstanding kid.
Gets the ball this time over the right side, breaks a couple tackles, and there it is right there. Eli Rouse takes it to the house. Right on cue, another touchdown. There's Eli Rouse.
Right on cue.
Another touchdown for Rouse, and unless told otherwise, stamping himself into the
record books for the Bombers. Couldn't happen to a better kid. Soft-spoken, plays like a beast, an animal, but really soft-spoken, hard-working young man. Just really, really happy for Eli. He's getting some hugs from his teammates, so I got to believe that that's the correct word that we got as far as being the all-time leading scorer for the Ballard Bomber football program. Very impressive for that young man.
The PAT is good, and with that, the Bombers lead 55-0 off the record-breaking run from Eli Rouse, now the all-time leading scorer in Bomber football history.
Pretty neat deal there for Eli, and credit to Megan Mudd. She does the volleyball games with us. She texted her husband Rob up here, and that's how we got it, and right on cue.
That couldn't have happened at a better moment right
there. No, that means the stars are aligning, Brock. So you know what that means for later on. We could have something good cooking for the Bombers. We could sneak into the playoffs, and then all you got to do, if you get a ticket to the dance.
Just want a chance.
You just got to get in there. Yep, you just got to get a ticket to the dance. You betcha.
And with how this Bomber team has been playing the second half of the season, I'm not going to lie, I don't know many teams want to come up and face this team.
No, I don't think so either, Brock. And we're doing what we can here. We're doing our part. Now with 3 minutes to go here in the third, we might see some substitutions, maybe, because if we do get the chance next week, we'd like to have some guys more fresh and healthy and all that stuff. So another good kickoff coverage there from the Bombers.
Another flag comes out. You don't like seeing this when the score's where it's at right now. We'll see who it's on. And, I mean, after you get a couple thrown, the refs aren't going to hesitate on these.
No, I'm not sure what's going on here, if it's on the Toradors or the Bombers. We're not sure. And this is where, in a game that's out of hand on the scoreboard, you got to have a cool head, right? Because the Toradors have nothing really left to play for. Okay, so if you're the Bombers, you got to stay in the game and be smart about it. Now we're going to see what the call is on the field, if it's against the Bombers or if against the Toradors. But you got to keep your head here if the Bombers.
Unsportsmanlike contact, number 10, receiving team.
It's on Brecky, number 10 for the Toradors.
Half the distance to the goal.
Dane Brecky, the young sophomore, must not have liked something that happened over there on the sideline. He was pretty hot.
So I'm assuming, based off of how they called that, the taunting call does not get weighed as much, because they did not mention that when Sampson got that taunting.
The unsportsmanlike and the taunting are two different things.
Okay.
So, which is huge, because I believe if you get ejected from a game,
you can't play the next one.
You have to sit out the next one.
And he's a senior, and you don't want to lose that.
No, you don't want to lose that edge. Update here, Bondurant Farrar just before half leads 21-0 over Carlisle.
Baumgartner fires it away over to the left side for a short and quick pass, but Sparks looking to prevent any big gain at all. A gain of 2, though, but great pursuit from Sparks.
Yeah, that was Sparks there, and it looked like number 4, Gabe Meetham, on the tackle there for the Bombers as he's getting some time. The senior came in there. He was in on that one. Landy took on the block. Gabe came in from the secondary, made the play.
Jack Nelson just came out and gave Coach Villa, or I think that was Howard, a huge hug. I don't know if that means he's done.
He might be done for the night. I would say that Jack's night's probably over with. We've started to sub some guys in here for the Bombers.
Handoff to Ingram, looking to fight off a couple stiff arms, but it's hard to fight off Waka.
That's Waka, and it looks like Sparks, and it looks like Tucker Vitson was in over there, but Waka and Sparks, those guys got a nose for the football.
Something to keep in mind for Bomber fans. Number 9, Brady Hillebrand, is warming up.
Yeah, and it looks like Chance Landy's night might be done as well as he comes off, gives the guys a hug. Him and Eli Rouse kind of dab each other up. 2 seniors had some really big plays tonight, and they've made some big plays throughout this season and throughout their careers for the Bombers. But since we've called some home games, the home games we've had, those 2 guys, Rouse and Landy, have stepped up big time.
Been huge parts of this Bomber team this season. 3rd down and 8 for the Toradors. Baumgartner looking to throw. Bombers applying a couple pressure and just overthrown to the left of number 6, Grant Wiesbrod.
And Wiesbrod, and that was Eiley. Eiley got beat on the inside as number 6 Wiesbrod just kind of took his inside leverage away, and Chase was on the chase there. A few steps behind, but it looks like Rouse is back deep to receive the punt. The coaching staff is telling him to fair catch it. Just fair catch the ball, Eli. Nothing silly.
Here's the punt from Baumgartner. And
just
he's
get
not
away
going to
from
even
it.
attempt to recover this one as it goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 38, and the Bomber offense will come out.
Yeah, we got a lot of substitutions in the game now for the Bombers. This is one of those 20-20 games that we talked about in basketball. Up by 20, down by 20. This is when you get your time. Some of these guys for the Bombers on that JV, they're getting some pub here tonight on the network for the final home game. Brady Hillebrand's out there, going to lead him on the charge.
Gave all of his offensive linemen a high five. That's something you want the quarterback to do.
You know, that's a Brock Purdy thing right there. He does it for the 49ers, and I know his dad's a big 49ers fan, so maybe that's Brady checking them out.
Handoff on the first play over to the right side. That is number 37.
Looks like
tag.
That's Tap, it looks like, yeah.
Able to pick up a good gain. And that will do it for the third quarter play. I forgot about the clock.
Yeah, the clock is running. The clock is running.
Apologies. Well, I guess
no need to apologize. No need to apologize, Brock. It's we're not used to this. We're just not conditioned for this. I mean, I would like more like this, but we like the close ones as well. But Brock, we were talking earlier about just getting a ticket to the dance, right? It's kind of like going on that first date, right? You just kind of, you open the door, you take her out for dinner, all those things that you do. And you just hoping to go on the next one to the next week, right?
Sure.
The first date gets to the second one, and then good things happen. And it's just part of life, right? It's kind of like football. That's why football is so beautiful in that way, is because you just get a ticket in, you never know what can happen.
Real quick, I want to give a quick plug for our next episode of the Flyby in the Flight Lounge. We got a great set of guests led by Drake basketball head coach Darren DeVries, as well as the Bomber basketball programs and Coach Jeff Schertz and Kelly Anderson. We aren't able to get the QR code loaded right now, but if you want to find information, go and head on to Flight's website, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to purchase tickets there.
Yeah, folks, you don't want to miss that one. That's going to be an exciting show with Coach DeVries. He was gracious enough to agree to come up and speak with us. They're the preseason MVC favorites at Drake, at the preseason MVC Player of the Year, and Tucker DeVries. So we're looking forward to having Coach DeVries, Coach Schertz, and Coach Anderson. Really quick update here. North Polk leads ADM 21-14. About 8 minutes to go in the third. And Waverly Shell Rock leads Marion 17-7 in the second quarter. So that's a little bit of a surprise, I believe.
Hillebrand looking to throw, fires it away. That was a...
He kind of left him out to dry there. That was 13. Tony Hornis went up for that one, but Brady just overshot him a little bit, but you can't question Hornis's effort on that one. Great. He was climbing the ladder.
Great defense from Christian Ingram right there on that play. Brings up second down.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty glad that these guys kind of put the lid back on the pulled pork sandwiches, so at least I can't smell it. I can see it back there, but I can't smell it.
Hand off to Tapp over to the left side. He breaks a couple tackles, and Tapp looking to punch his name into the score sheet tonight. Takes it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah. Just tap that one right in there, I guess is what you could say. Just tap-a-roo right in it for 6. Gage Tapp, 37, the sophomore. Nice job by the big horses up front there on the guys getting some time.
Rouse better watch out. Tapp's coming for that
record. He's coming for his record, you bet. That's a big play there by Gage Tapp. Now, we saw this last week. We got Caleb Lemcole in the game here. The left-footed kicker. A little quicker.
Southpaw's kick is up.
And it's good. All right, there we go. Improvement from last week. A little quicker on that one. And I will tell you this, Caleb's got great hair on that number 180, that 81 jersey out there. Nice job by Hillebrand getting the snap, the hold down. A different thing for Brady back there when he's holding. And then you got a left-footed kicker. It's just a different look, and you're not used to doing that. So kudos to him. And attaboy, Caleb. Nice job there, 81 on the kick. That extends the lead to 62-0 here for the Bombers.
Officially at the hour and 32-minute mark of this game. Going kind of quickly, of course, because the running clock, 62-0 is the score.
Coach Hochul's trying to get somebody in and somebody out. Looks like Waka's coming off. Number 42 is running on late here. Wyatt Greenfield will be on.
Waka looking to get a couple extra snaps, but Hochul's saying not anymore.
Not anymore, Jackson. You can take a breather, bud. We're hopefully going to need you for next week, right?
Turned out to be a beautiful night of football here in Huxley, Iowa, compared to last week where we had to build our own booth.
Yeah, we were under the tents and had the Stoash with the kick, just kicks her out of bounds.
Goes to the 35, right?
Yeah, it should go to the 35. I'm not really sure why the clock has stopped again. I'm not sure if we're all up to snuff on what's going on here with this, but that's okay. Like I said, maybe the guys down in the booth, they're not used to this either, so we're all learning here, folks. But if you're a Bomber fan, it's been a great night to be a Bomber fan. They clicked on all cylinders early. They stepped on the gas pedal, and they led 35-0 after the first quarter, and they haven't looked back since. Boone put together a little drive, had that nice 50-yard pass play to Bolton, but turned it over. They had the fumble. Christensen recovered it. We've had two big guys score touchdowns, Bo Warg and Jack Nelson. Everybody's kind of getting in on the act tonight for the Bombers, per se.
Hand off to Ingram up to the right side. He is wrapped up first by number 36.
36, Cash Johnson.
Getting his first couple snaps here in this game. Second down and about 1 yard for the Toradors.
The Bomber defense looking to bow up here. We got a lot of the second string guys in, getting some good time here on a Friday night. Couldn't ask for anything better if you're these guys. Got a beautiful night and get to play out here underneath the Friday night lights.
They'll pass it over to the left side to Bolden, trying to get a great lane, able to pick up the first down and more before being tackled out of bounds by Eiley.
That was Eiley. I'll tell you what, Bolden can run. Bolton can really run, and Eiley's quick to his feet, so pretty good tackle there by Chase. He got a little confused and went inside and gave Bolton that lane outside the numbers, and he's got some wheels on him, Bolton does.
Helps the Toradors get a first down here with the clock still running, 9:24 left in the game.
Breeze is just starting to pick up a little bit up here, folks. It's not really that windy. We're just kind of up here above the crow's nest.
It's beautiful out.
It is beautiful out. Got the best view in the house.
Oh, thanks.
Not looking at you, Bear.
Handoff over to Ingram. He's running the right side. Great stiff arm. Now stops and cuts. Able to create something out of nothing. Picks up 3 yards before finally being tackled.
Looked like Landon Chance and maybe looks like Cash Johnson. No, that was 38 in on that one. Looks like Jackson Schaefer was in on that tackle. Second, no, about 7.5, 6.5 here for the Toradors. Clock's ticking away, 8:30 to go.
It's a good effort run from Ingram, able to fight off the first defender, able to pick up 3 when it originally looked like he was going to lose a couple yards.
Yeah. Bombers had good pursuit. Looked like they had him stopped in the backfield. You're right, Brock, but they pursued the football, did a nice job. Get him tackled. Oh, boy. A little reverse play. That's Baumgartner out there on the lead block.
And there's Ingram, the other Ingram. That's Josh Ingram, able to take it into the end zone for the touchdown. The Boone Toradors are on the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that play, Brock, is they ran into each other in the backfield, and it might have just messed up the timing enough to allow our guys to get blocked and over-pursue. And on the reverse play, Ingram kind of squirted it out the backside, and Josh Ingram took it to the house for 6. So first touchdown of the night for the Toradors.
That was a definitely designed play where Josh Ingram was supposed to get the ball. It was just, like you mentioned, the timing on it was a little off.
It was a little goofy. Toradors are getting the place-kicking tee in order here. Baumgartner will do the holding. It looks like Baumgartner's going to do the holding, and it looks like, is this Bolton or is that number? Well, it looks like Bolton's going to do the kicking for him.
He's done a little bit of everything tonight for the Toradors as his PAT attempt is up and good. Line drive, basically.
Yeah, line drive there. The Bombers were hoping for the shutout tonight. I'm sure they were, but that happens. Got our second string in. The guys playing with great effort. Just a little bit of a timing issue there, and it worked out for the Toradors to put them on the board. So it's 62-7 with a little over 8 minutes to go here. That clock will continue to run once the kickoff is completed here for the Toradors, as long as they don't do anything silly. Looks like the Bombers may have, they're sending the two horses back. Landy and Rouse will be back. I got to believe they'll fair catch this one. We'll see what happens. We're trying to get some organization over here on the sidelines. The Toradors will kick it off. It's their first kickoff since the opening kickoff.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's the first time that the Toradors have kicked off since the opening kickoff of the game. So
8:04 left in the game. 62-7 is the score here. Looks like we're going to get some updates on games around the state.
Yeah, early in the third quarter, the Glenwood Rams lead 31-14 over the Norwalk Warriors. And if you're a Bomber fan, once again, that's what you like to see from the Rams. They need to beat the Warriors of Norwalk to just kind of help our situation out to maybe sneak in those playoffs.
Landy will get the return, so no fair catch. He's looking to make something on this return as he's around the 34-yard line before being brought down and tackled.
Yeah, and I think everybody on the sideline was kind of holding their breath on that one, Brock. I know I was. I thought maybe chance just slide down, take your medicine, live to play for the next week, and we'll see what happens. But Bombers will send the offense back out there, led by the sophomore Brady Hillebrand, number 9.
Saw a great run from number 37, Gage Tapp.
Yeah.
Resulted in that touchdown to result in the 62-point score for the Bombers.
Yeah, you betcha. Well, he didn't score 62 points on that touchdown. That would be a record.
Yeah.
He just got us to 62. Okay.
Yes.
There's a 62-point touchdown. We're in trouble because we can't give up another one to the Toradors.
Ooh, yeah. It'd stop the clock, that's for sure. As
Yes, it
Hillebrand
would.
rolls out to the left side, fires it away, overthrows. I think Cass Johnson just a tad, falls incomplete.
Yeah, Johnson was over there and Hornus was in the area, but Brady just overshot him. Nice thing about that is you got the full playbook open here because the clock doesn't stop. So that's a nice thing here for the Bombers. Looks like Ryan Cleverly is going to check in. The senior Cleverly will come in, offensive lineman, might be looking into that H-back spot.
Landon Chase also in at running back. So second down. After the first down incompleted pass from Hillebrand, they'll hand it off to Chase as he's over on the right side. Following the blockers, he's able to pick up a gain of 5 before being brought down.
Really well executed. That was Cleverly out there in that H-back spot. The senior getting some time here late. Made a nice lead block, got him on the edge. Cleverly handles all the long snapping duties for the Bombers. He comes out, 36. That'll be Cass Johnson checks back in.
So third down, about 6, as you mentioned here.
The clock continues to run.
6 minutes left in the game. 6 minutes left in the regular season. Handoff. I think that was
like
Tap.
Might have been.
Nope,
Yeah,
that's Chase.
Yeah, that was Landon Chance there, it looked like.
Chance.
Yeah, Landon Chance on the carry there. Are the Bombers going to go for it here or risk a punt? I think they're probably going to go for it here, I would assume.
You see Warg on the sideline. He's wanting to get one more punt in, but we'll see what they do here.
Yeah, they're telling him no. Looks like we're going to maybe just go for it.
Wouldn't it be often that you see a punter punt as well as score in the same game?
Looks like Coach Howard might run the play clock down here and get a timeout maybe just to kind of discuss this. It's about 4th and a long 4, maybe 5 here for the Bombers.
And a timeout is called with 5:08 left in the regular season for both teams. 62-7 is the score. Your Bombers lead it. And it looks like, just based off of who Coach Howard is talking to, the offense is probably going to go out there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to stay on the field. Once again, after the timeout, the clock will continue to run.
Got executive producer already taking down one of our cameras. He's trying to get out of here.
Well, he knows. He wants to kind of go back and follow some of the games because we might be able to watch some of those other ones on the live feed.
That's a good.
But I'm going to tell you right now, folks, what we do here at the Ballard Network is unlike anything else around. I believe, but like I mentioned earlier, we couldn't do it without these guys. Forever indebted to Dan Inksler, and we are going to punt it. Looks like that might be Hillebrand back there to punt it for the Bombers. Gets that one away. Should be take a good Bomber roll, and it does. That looks like that was
from
Tap.
Braddock.
Tap on the tackle, and it looked like, who was that, 22?
Braddock.
Yeah, A.J. Braddock for the Toradors there. Hillebrand with that kind of quick punt. Clock continues to run here. But as I was saying, forever indebted to Dan Inksler and you, Brock, for bringing me on board on this thing, and we've tried to grow it, and I think we're doing a fairly good job as we've got some guys that are more than willing to help. We had almost over 650 views of volleyball last night. We've had well over 1,000 on a couple of our football games throughout. We had a lot of live viewers last week. It was partially because of the weather and the flyby show we're doing and the things. We've got some good partnerships for them. We can't, again, thank the people over there at Flight Bar and Grill. Best burger in town, but some of the best people around as well. And we appreciate everything that they're doing for us and for the great Ballard community. You know, the community, the Ballard schools between Slater, Huxley, Cambridge, and Kelly, all the folks that follow us and support the athletics, it allows us to put a really good product out for you to watch and for the kids to go back and watch and things like that. And it's a really cool thing. And the network is something that's kind of new. I don't want to say new. It's been around. You started it, Brock, when you were in high school, but it's evolved into something even probably bigger and better than what you thought it could maybe be.
I couldn't imagine it being as great as it is right now as they give it to Ingram. He almost had one tackle to beat to get to the end zone. Picks up the first down, but it will not be a touchdown for the Bombers.
That was Pingle. That was Parker Pingle there. Looks like we got an update. It looks like North Polk leads ADM 28-14.
And that's for the district title, wouldn't it?
Basically, yeah. I think if North Polk wins that one, they're the outright district champs, and I believe that would put Indianola in the second spot, I believe, because they beat ADM head-to-head.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yep, so they would get in there, and ADM will
take
that
very
spot.
Interesting.
Yep, that looks like that is Ingram on
again.
The carry there, yeah.
Brought down by Johnson, number 36, Cass Johnson.
Yeah, a little under 3 minutes to go, but like we said, folks, we might have some big news coming. So if you follow us on the Facebook pages and things like that, we're hoping to get something worked out, and just a little teaser for the volleyball action coming up on Tuesday as the girls travel over to Marion for a berth in the state tournament. I don't know when the last time the Bombers were in a regional final for volleyball, but I believe it's been quite a while. And last night we took on the Dutch, and that was the 20th meeting. The Dutch were leading the series 18-1. The last time the Bombers had beat the Dutch was 2011.
And that is a great tackle there from number 57. I think that's Pingle again, Parker Pingle.
That's Pingle again. And once you pop, you can't stop, but that's Pingle, not Pringles. But you get what I'm saying there. Pingle, that's a fun name to say. Looking forward to that in the future. Parker Pingle, the double P. But, yeah, the Bombers took him down last night in 3 straight. Hadn't beaten him since 2011. 19-1 in the 20th matchup. We kind of run roughshod over him last night, but it was a lot of fun to be there, and it was a huge crowd at the hangar last night. So kudos. There's a good open field tackle
by Eiley.
That's Mr. Chase Eiley, another sophomore. And Eiley kind of flips him over, but you know what? Oh, now number one's going to come over and have some words. Not really sure what Ingram's doing, but, you know, I can't really fault Eiley there because he stood over the top of him. Chase just said, hey, get off me. And you like a little chip on your shoulder as long as you can play within yourself. But I think Chase has earned himself a spot over on the sideline to have a little conversation, probably going to be somewhat one-sided with Coach V and Coach Hochul.
So it's 4th down for the Toradors, probably the last play. They're going to call a timeout here to line up something on this 4th down play. 62-7 is the score here. Your Bombers lead it in the regular season finale. Bombers are going to be over 500 on the season. And, I mean, even if they don't make the postseason, you cannot discount the Bomber effort this season.
Yeah, the effort, and, you know, Brock, we started out the year and we weren't quite sure. We got a great win in the first one against Pella, which was kind of a surprising one for us. We weren't sure because Pella's always been a good program. Then we lost a couple straight. We weren't really sure how it was going to go, but the kids never quit fighting. Their attitudes were good. The coaching staff made some adjustments. We've seen the maturation of the quarterback. Eli Rouse has been a horse for us all year, and you mentioned earlier on the stats on the defensive side. Our defense has stood up all year. We've had a couple hiccups here and there, but for the most part, we've rode with those guys the entire year. They put us in a spot to possibly get in, where I'll tell you what, 7 weeks ago, I wouldn't have thought we were going to be here, but here we are.
4th down, and Baumgartner will just run it here, able to pick up the first down before being tackled out of bounds.
That was a big tackle there by number 16. It looked like Isaac Powers.
Good power on that tackle.
Yeah, Isaac brought the Powers on that one. I don't think he's related to Kenny Powers. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Isaac Powers on that one. Channel is Inner Kenny. Got a score update here. Lewis Central leads DCG early in the 4th, 21-0.
And that's a team that's going to be fighting for a dome position, Lewis Central there.
Yeah, Lewis Central, but that's a team that also lost to the 3A team in Creston that we went down and lost to. And that, again, that Creston team is really pretty good. There's pressure right there, 51.
Deep throw.
It's going to be a penalty.
That was
Vale, and that was 13. It looked like that was Tony Hornis on the coverage, and he took him to the ground.
So it will be a first down.
Will be a first down. I guess the clock does stop on the penalty there, so if he doesn't tackle him to the ground, it's probably the last one for the Toradors, but they'll get one more shot here.
Before we finish up this game, I do want to say shout out to you and Megan Mudd on a great season calling games. I know nothing about volleyball. I've actually had some people help me learn volleyball over the past couple of months, and you two were part of that journey of me understanding volleyball.
Well, and I can tell you what, Megan and I weren't sure what we got ourselves into in that first one, but we kind of learned together and we worked together, and she does a good job. She was a little bit
right there from Bolden, able to cap off the year for the Toradors with one more touchdown.
Yeah, that's just a great effort play, a great catch there by Bolden. That's going to put that'll give Bolden a nice little cherry on the top for this one, but and gives Boone something to celebrate a little bit. But it's going to end up probably 16-14, 16-13, or 62-14 or 62. Oh, Glenwood leads in the third quarter over Norwalk, 31-21. Rams over the Warriors. PAT pending here, but it could be 62-14.
And I encourage anybody that's watching us right now to tune into that game after we are finished here to watch the finale of that.
A little two-point conversion there, Baumgartner.
Great pass over to number 84. That's their tight end, Tyson Shivers.
Shivers me timbers. He caught that one for the 2 points, but now we got to get one more kickoff here. And we just got to run this clock. This has been the longest portion of the second half right here in about the last 2 minutes of the game, is we're just trying to run it down.
62-15 is the score now.
And it looks like Coach Howard's trying to get some clarification. If we fair catch it, does the clock run? I don't believe it does start until we catch the ball, so we can't fair catch it. So we may need to touch it, get it, and fall on it.
And I think that's exactly what he's telling them right now.
Yeah, and don't do anything silly. No sense in that.
But yeah, stay alert and looking at our Facebook page for news and alerts about the volleyball game upcoming next Tuesday. Nothing official yet, but we're working on something, trying to get something here. Something's better than nothing. And we're going to provide something.
It's a little bit of a trek, over there to Marion. It's a good probably 2-hour drive, and it's a Tuesday night. Starts at 7 o'clock over there at Marion High School. Since they were the higher seed, they will host. Marion's got a pretty good volleyball program. They made the state tournament last year. But they're right in that 6-7 range in the top 10, and the Ballard and the Bombers were right there 9-10 throughout the year. And if we play like we did last night, we've got a really good chance at it. Speaking of chance, this is Landy.
Picks the ball up and looking to drain the clock, and that should pretty much do it.
Yep.
And
the clock hits zeros there.
And that will do it for the regular season of high school football here in Huxley, Iowa. 62-15, your Bombers cap off a successful season, 5-4 record-wise. Again, ups and downs beginning of the year, but I tell you what, this team is one of the best teams second half of the season.
Yeah, and I agree, Brock. And like I said, 7 weeks ago, we didn't think we would probably be standing here talking about the possibility of making the playoffs. We are. And we said last week, if ands, and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all be happy at Christmas. If this and but that, we can't do anything about it. We took care of business. We're 5-4. We play in a really tough district. We need some help. But what we saw on the field tonight, what we saw in the North Polk game, you go back to that one, to win that one 7-6 over the eventual probably district champions. Such a huge win for us. And some of the things that these guys have accomplished and the growth that we've seen throughout the year. I really hope.
Just give us a chance.
Just give us a chance to get in those playoffs and see what happens. We're going to have to go on the road for sure. But I don't think that these kids are scared. And I know the coaching staff isn't scared. They feel like if they can get in, and as wild as 4A is in football, it's wide open. It really is. There's some teams at the top half that are good, but we're a touchdown or 1 or 2 points away from beating some of those teams. We've seen it this year. And the same can be said for losing some games, but we didn't. And any time, and the one thing that you can always say, and it's cliche, but this kind of happened to the Bombers, is the most dangerous thing in the wilderness is a wounded animal. And the Bombers were kind of wounded there for a little bit, but they fought back. And they showed some good character, some good pride. It's a tribute to the coaching staff. It's a tribute to the players. And again, we're going to be kind of sitting at home watching tonight and watching some scores and trying to do the calculations and all the stuff. But, Brock, it has been an absolute pleasure to stand up here in this booth. My first time getting to call football games. Couldn't ask for a better partner. Couldn't ask for a better guy to lead the show in Dan Inksler. We put on a great product, but the product on the field has been better and better each week that we've seen him. And that's what the people are here to watch. That's what the people are in the stands. It was great to have the kids here tonight from the youth program. But I'm really proud to be part of the network, to be part of the Ballard community. And great things are happening in this town. And it shows on the field. It showed on the volleyball court last night. Really happy, really proud, and hopefully we can get in the dance. And next Tuesday, maybe, hopefully we can bring you something, another good product, and see where it goes. But, Brock, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. And you being an alumni, you got to be pretty proud as well. And,
oh, yeah.
And just a really cool deal. So, we'll hope and we'll pray, and we'll see if we can't make it into the dance.
Well said, 62-15. Again, if this is our last game of the season, we appreciate everybody that has tuned in throughout the season to watch Ballard football. What a way to go out. We've had a lot of great moments this season. And, hopefully we can make some more moments here before football season is officially over for the entire state. But we'll see. And if this happens to be the last broadcast of the year for high school football for the Ballard Bombers, we want to thank everybody, especially Flight Bar and Grill, for sponsoring and making all these streams free. All the middle school streams, all the middle school volleyball, middle school football, JV football, JV volleyball, whatever it may be. All of these streams have been free for your viewing pleasures because of Flight Bar and Grill. So shout out to them. Again, 62-15 is the final score here in Rich Strauss Field. For the final time in the regular season, I'm Brock Bierman alongside Tim Davis, Dan Ingsler, and the rest of the crew. We're signing off. We'll see you next time.
Go Bombers.